Welcome to another video of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. This is Code Essentials KE, and today I'm going to show you how to build this beautiful slide down navigation. So before we start building this beautiful slide down navigation, let me show you a demo. Now you can see we have on our web page we have an H1 with that says that this is a slide down navigation, and we also have a click me icon, or it's like a button that when you click on this we actually see our slide down navigation with the links, about, services, careers, contact links. And also we can close this using this icon, an X. When we click on this, you can see our slide down navigation closes. And also this project is also responsive, so we can right click and inspect. As you can see, we are using pixel 5 on pixel 5. When we click on the click me icon, we see that it drops down 100%. It means it covers the whole of our web page. Then we can close. Let us try on let's say iPhone X, iPhone 12 Pro. You can see an iPhone 12. It is also responsive. We can also try responsive mode. In our responsive mode, it is actually responsive. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into building this nice slide down navigation. Now open your VS Code open your VS Code and create a folder. For me, I've just named it as navigation. I'm going to create an HTML file. Let's say nav.html, then another file, let me say nav.js, that way. Then another new file with nav.css. Okay, now we have three files. The first one is nav.html. This is where we are going to write our HTML code. Then we have nav.js. This is where we are going to write JavaScript code. Then the last one is nav.css, where we are going to style our web page. So everything to do with styles, we are going to write it under this file. And now let's proceed to nav.html and then start writing our code. So nav.html, I'm going to delete this code and also this one because it is a comment. It means we don't need it. And also let's give this project a title. Let's say navigation. Let's say navigation menu, this way. It's a navigation menu, right? Then you can also link our CSS, so I can say nav.css. Then JavaScript will link it right here in the script tag. I say nav.js, that way, right? Now in our body section, you can see our finished project has an H1. Our finished project has an H1 that says this is a slide down navigation. So let me also write it that way. So I can say H1 h1 and say this is a slide down navigation. This is a slide down navigation menu. You can just say that. Okay. Let us reload again and see if it is working. And now this is our old project. We have to right click on our VS Code, then open with live server. So we open a new project, and now let us see, and there it is. You can see this is a slide down navigation menu. It means our project is working fine, everything is set. And now we continue. Under the h1 we can have a div with ID of my nav, then class, then we can have a class of overlay, right? Class of overlay. Then we close the div. Then under this div, let us have an anchor tag. So ahref, and inside we are going to write JavaScript colon, then we say void. Inside the void is actually 0, so we write 0. Then we continue. Under this href we have a class, and this class is called, or we can call it close btn, which is basically a button, right? Then we can have on click, an on click event, and this on click is going to take an close nav function, and then now we can close our anchor tag, right? Then we also have another div with a class of actually this close nav, we have to include an icon X just to close. That means that it will close the nav. It is like an icon. Now then under this div, inside the class, under this div, let us have a class of overlay content. So you can say overlay dash content, right? Then we close. Then under that div we are going to write our links, and our links are basically anchor tags with href that way. Then the href is going to take an hashtag. That means that when we click on the link, it should not take us to any of the pages. Let's say we have clicked on the about us or contact page, it will just remain on the same page because we have referenced it to go nowhere. It's remain on the same page. That is the reason why we are putting hashtag inside the href. Now we can close now our href or our anchor tag. Then inside we write about as our first link. Then we can copy this and paste it several times, like let's say 4 times, right? And now we can rename this, the second link, to be services. Then the third link is, you can say careers. careers. Then the last one is contact. That way. Now let us reload again and see what is happening. Now you can see we have our links, our H1 and our close icon. Maybe I can zoom this so that you can see. Yeah, we have our close icon, an X, about, services, careers, contact us or contact page. Now it means everything is working. Let's proceed. Now we move outside the divs. We are going to create a span element, and the span we're going to give it a styles. This is inline styling, so you can say font size, let's say 30 pixels, font size 30 pixels. The next is cursor. Cursor is always pointer, or you can use any other kind. Cursor is pointer, and then we can also have on click. Okay, maybe this one to move to the next line, right? Next line, then you say on click, that way. So on click, we want it to open the nav. So open nav, and open nav is a function, right? Then we close span with opening. So our opening icon, we say and then hashtag 9776. This is just a code that will display our open icon, or an icon menu, an open menu, that way with 3 bars. We shall see that later. Now let us give it a name of click me, right? Now let's save and reload in our browser. There we go. If I try to refresh, we still have our elements in the browser. You can see our H1, our close, our links, then our open icon. In our finished project, you can see when we click on this, there is a slide down navigation menu, right? So it means we are going to hide this in CSS and do some sort of stylings so that everything is working fine, right? Now in our new project, let's now proceed to what else? I think everything in HTML is done. What is remaining is just JavaScript and CSS. So we can move on to JavaScript, and here we are going to define a function. So we say function, and our function is open. Our function is open nav. So when you open nav is a function. And this function, let's call document dot get element by ID, and our ID is, if we go back, our ID was, I think we just have only one ID, this one, my nav. So it is my nav, right? So ID, that way. Then we say my nav, right? Then we say dot style dot height, and it's going to be, height is going to be or 100%. So this means that when we click on the open nav, it's going to slide down 100%, which means it's going to cover the whole page. As you can see in our finished project, side navigation, when we click on this, you can see it covers the whole page. So that is 100% style.height. So the height is 100%. Now let's proceed with writing JavaScript code. So we put a semicolon, then we proceed to the close function. So we say function, then close nav, function close nav, and then we do the same thing, document dot get element by id, and the id is my nav. Alright, then we just say dot style dot height, and our height is equal to 0%. Our height is 0%. That means that when we click on close nav, it's going to go 0%. So the height is going to go back. When we, let us see in our finished project. So you can see when we click, it goes 100% height. When we close, it goes back to 0%, right? Okay, now our JavaScript is done. Let's move on to HTML, to CSS. Now to CSS, we are going to start with the body. So we say body, and body a margin 1. Margin we want to be 1. Then font family. Font family can be, you can give it any font family. As you can see, we have several font families here, but for me, I'm going to use Lato, then comma sans serif, right? Let us reload again and see if something. Now you can see our font size, our font style, or our font type has changed from, I think previous was Times New Roman, now we have sans serif, right? Actually, this is our old project. Let us see our new project. Yeah, it is working. You can see it is sans serif font family. Now everything is working fine. Let's proceed with our stylings. Now we move to our classes. We had overlay class, and this we're going to give it a height of 0%, right? Then width 100%, position fixed, so position is fixed. The next is z index. Z index is 1. Then top 0, then left 0, left is 0, right? And background color is RGB 00 0, right? The next is also again background color. This is RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.9. Alright, 0.9, and then next is, actually the first one should be RGB, yeah, RGB 000, then RGBA 000, then 0.9, right? And now our next is overflow y, overflow y. I'm supposed to put a comma there, so overflow y is hidden, so we are going to hide our elements or our links. The next is transition 0.5 seconds, right? Then our next class is .overlay. Then we grab I think it's content, overlay content, .overlay content, that was our class. Position is relative. Position is relative, right? The next is top of, let's say, 25%, and then width of 100%, a width of 100%. The next is text align. So text align is center, and also margin top is, you can say 30 pixel, yeah, 30 pixel, or you can say 40 or anything else, but for me my best is that. And now we move on to the next class, which is overlay. Then we grab our links, so overlay, then we grab our links as A, or our anchor tag. Then we say padding is, you can say 8 pixels. Then text decoration is none. We don't want to have those underlines and bluish color. The next is font size, 30 pixel. Font size 30 pixel. 36. Let's say that's 6 pixel. The next is color. And color, we can say hashtag 818181. That's our color. Then display, you can use any color you want. Then display is block. Display block. Then last one is transition 0.3 seconds, right? 0.3 seconds. And then we continue with styling, and now we move to hover. You can say dot overlay a hover, right? But before that, we can also have another one with overlay focus, right? So you can say overlay and A, right? Where is focus? Focus that way. Then we say color is going to be color is going to be hashtag F1, right? And then that is enough. We move on to another class. So we say overlay, then another class which is close btn, right? Let us see if we are writing some correctly. Now we have class overlay, then under these we have class close btn, right? So it is close btn. Then we say position absolute. The next is top is 20 pixel. Then right is you can say 45 pixel. The next is font size is 60 pixels, right? Now let us reload in our browser and see if we are doing the correct thing or we have messed up the whole thing. Now as you can see, when we click, the slide actually slides down 100%, but there is no close icon. We can't see the close icon, right? So let's go back and see what is not happening. And now we continue with the media query. I think that is where we are going to find now our close icon, right? Now we say at media screen and max height which is 450 pixel. Then we want to grab the class overlay, then say overflow y as auto, that way. Then next is dot overlay, then our links. And now we grab our links and say font size 20 pixels, and also overlay, then close btn, right? And then we say font size we want it to be 40 pixels. Next is top 15 pixels, and then lastly right as 35 pixels. Okay, now let us reload this and see. When we click on that, we still can't see our close button. Now let us see where is the error. close btn. What was our color? Let us see, close btn. Our close btn. Font size, color. Actually, did you have this class? Let me see. Class, close btn. Then there's somewhere we gave the styles. We did some inline styling here, but I don't know if it could affect that. So close btn x. Why is it not displaying? Maybe we messed up with some colors. So close btn. You can see here text align center, position relative, focus, close btn, position absolute, top, right. And what could be the error? We can open it, but we can't close it. Yeah. We can open our slide menu, but we cannot close it. Let me check the error again. The background color, this overflow Y hidden. Then color, close btn. Let me try to give it a color. Let me see if this could work. Let's say color. Then let's say FFF. Hashtag FFF. Let me see if this could work. It is not working. Maybe I have to find the error, then we proceed, right? Let me see. Let us see our project. You can see we have it here. But our new project, when we click me, we can see nothing. Or maybe I can reduce this. Okay. Now when I reduce this, I can see that I can close the icon, and I can still open the slider menu, then close the icon. Yeah, everything is working. I think I had zoomed in a little bit so that you guys can see. Now I forgot to go back, and I'm checking out my close icon and I can't see anything. Okay, now when we reload this, when we open our slide menu and zoom out, now we see our close icon. We can also inspect this in our media query, and we are in our responsive mode. When I click that, it is there again. It is working fine. Now I can change to any devices I want. I can use, let's say, Nexus 10. Right? Is there, it is working. It is actually responsive, right? Let's say Pixel 4, Pixel 4. Pixel 4 looks like an iPhone, and it is working also fine. Let's try an iPhone now. iPhone X. iPhone X is also working. Let's try iPhone 12 Pro. Is there? Yeah. Now everything is working fine. This is what I wanted to show you in this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed, though it has been long. Hope you did not get bored, right? Now I thank you for watching, and subscribe to Code Essentials KE. Maybe next time I'll be doing another tutorial to slide this menu, let's say from the side instead of down slides. Maybe it will be sliding from, let's say, left or right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.